Try something for me. Right now, wherever your old dog is in the house, picture them. Picture how they look at you when you walk into a room. Picture how they wait at the door when you leave. Picture what they do when you come home at the end of a long day. Now ask yourself a question most owners never stop to ask. What do they think you are to them? Most people would say, their owner, their human, the person who feeds them, walks them, takes care of them. That's what we call ourselves. That's not what they call us. Researchers studying how dogs perceive their humans have come to a conclusion that surprised even them. The relationship in your dog's mind is not the one you think it is. It's not what cats experience with their owners. It's not what wolves experience in their packs. It's not even what other dogs experience with each other. It's a category your dog invented somewhere over the last 10,000 years, just for you. And as your dog ages, and this is the part almost no one talks about, that category changes. The way they perceive you at 13 is not the way they perceived you at 3. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to walk you through what your senior dog actually thinks you are, the 4 roles you occupy in their mind, and the 5th one, the one that only emerges in old age, that will change the way you look at your dog tonight. Let's start with what you're not. 1. You're not their owner, and you never were. The word owner is something we invented. Your dog has no concept of it. In your dog's mind, there is no transaction, no leash, no paperwork, no adoption fee that makes you their person. They don't know they were bought. They don't know they were rescued. They don't know what a home is in the way we mean it. What they know is this: there is a creature in their life who has been around for a long time, whose voice they recognize, whose footsteps they recognize, whose smell is woven into every soft thing they sleep on. That creature provides safety. That creature is safety. You aren't their owner. You're their constant. And there's a difference between those two things that matters more in old age than at any other point in your dog's life. Because when their hearing starts to fade, and their eyes start to fog, and the rooms in their house stop making perfect sense, they don't search for an owner. They search for the constant. 2. You're not their parent either, but you're close. Here's where it gets interesting. In 2013, researchers at the University of Veterinary Medicine in Vienna ran an experiment that quietly rewrote how we understand the human-dog bond. They put dogs in a stressful situation, first with their owner present, then without. They measured the dog's heart rates, their cortisol, their exploration patterns. What they found was almost identical to what you'd see if you ran the same experiment on toddlers and their mothers. In a stressful environment, dogs with their owner present explored, played, and recovered. Dogs without their owner shut down. They called it the secure base effect. And it's the exact same psychological architecture human infants have with their parents. So you're parent-like. But you're not actually a parent in your dog's mind, because dogs know what their actual mother was, and you aren't her. You're something that functions like a parent. The presence that calms their nervous system. The presence that makes a strange room feel safe. The presence whose absence creates a specific kind of grief. Your dog has built that role inside their mind, and they've put you in it. And in old age, when their body is less reliable and their world is less certain, that role gets bigger, not smaller. Quick thing, if any of this is hitting close to home, tap the like. It helps YouTube push this to people who are quietly going through the same thing tonight. Let's keep going. 3. You're not a pack leader. That whole idea was wrong. You've probably heard, somewhere along the way, that you need to be the alpha in your dog's eyes. That entire idea, the dominance theory, the pack hierarchy, the be the leader framing, is something modern behavioral scientists have spent 2 decades quietly burying. The dog behaviorist L. David Meck, the man whose research first introduced the concept of the alpha wolf in the 1960s, has spent the last 20 years publicly retracting it. He said in print that the entire framework was based on a misunderstanding of captive wolf behavior. Wild wolf packs aren't run by dominance, they're run by family. And your dog, who hasn't been a wolf for 30,000 years, was never running on dominance to begin with. You're not their alpha, you're not their leader, you're their family member, the one they imprinted on, the one whose return at the end of the day means the day is over. If anyone tells you to dominate your old dog into respect, they don't understand what your dog actually is. 4. You're the keeper of their world. Here's the role most owners don't realize they occupy. Dogs don't think in years. They don't think in days. They think in patterns. The pattern of when you wake up, the pattern of when you walk them, the pattern of the chair you sit in, the cup you hold, the way you say their name. Over a decade of living with you, your dog has built a model of the world inside their head, and you are the central figure in it. Not because they love you, though they do, but because you are the organizing structure around which their entire reality is built. Researchers studying senior dogs have noticed something striking. When a long-bonded dog loses their primary human to a divorce, to a death, to a long hospital stay, they don't grieve the way we grieve. They become spatially confused. They wander rooms they used to know. They forget routines they used to follow. The world stops making sense because the keeper of the world has gone. You aren't just someone they love. You are the spine of the world they live inside. And that's a role most people never realize they took on, until much later than they should have. 5. And the role that only appears in old age. Here's the one I told you to stay for. When your dog was young, you were many things to them. A playmate, a walker, a feeder, a scratcher of bellies, a protector, a constant. But somewhere, usually quietly, usually around the 11th or 12th year, something shifts. The roles start to consolidate. The playmate part fades because they don't play as much. The walker part fades because the walks get shorter. The protector part stays, but it gets quieter. And one role rises above all the others. You become their memory. Their eyesight gets a little less reliable. Their hearing fades. Their sense of where they are gets softer at the edges. But you, your voice, your scent, your shape in a doorway, you stay the most stable thing in their fading map. Researchers at NC State have measured this directly. Senior dogs with cognitive decline aren't disoriented evenly across their environment. They're disoriented less in the presence of their primary attachment figure. The world dims, the human doesn't. So in old age, you become the one thing in their life that doesn't change. That isn't owner. That isn't parent. That isn't pack. That's home, not a place, a presence. Your old dog doesn't see you as their owner. They see you as the one steady thing in a world that's getting less steady. The one face in a room that's getting harder to read. The one constant in a life that's quietly counting down. You aren't who feeds them. You're who tells them, by being there, that it's still okay to be here. Go back to the question I asked you at the very beginning. What do they think you are to them? Now you know. You're not their owner. You're their constant. You're their secure base. You're their family. You're the spine of their world. And in their final years, when so much else is fading, you're the thing that doesn't. Your old dog has been telling you this for years, with every lean, every slow blink, every look across a room, every quiet exhale when you sit down beside them. You were never their owner. You were always something so much bigger than that. You were the whole reason their world made sense.